Why, hello, my friends. Welcome back. Welcome to 10 Within. Oh my gosh, you guys, it is 2025. When did that happen? I swear the year 2024 flew by. Do you ever know when they say like the days go slow, but the years go fast? Like that is the prime example of 2024 for me. I feel like that was the fastest, most chaotic, crazy year of my life, but also the slowest. Does that even make sense? Does that resonate with anybody out there? But gosh, you guys, all I can say is I'm glad that it's over, but I'm also so grateful that it happened. Do you ever have seasons in your life that you go through and you just feel like you took so much away from them? If you would have asked me in January of 2024 what the end of my year will look like, I mean, truly, I would never have imagined or guessed that I would have ended up where I ended up. I was planning a wedding. We got married in February, and then I was divorced truly well, not quite legally divorced yet, in 11 more days, my friends. It's so gross. However, I just feel like that part of my life, I was just selling my home and building a new house, and now I'm living in Canyon Lake. Like that completely transformed. My daughter was going to public school and just, in a situation that I just didn't love. And that situation completely transformed. My fitness and my health is completely transformed. I am so grateful for the transformation that happened in 2024. Unfortunately, sometimes transformation takes heartache, right? It takes pain. It takes us hitting rock bottom to be able to truly have to regroup and start over and truly come back. And I think that for me, that is exactly what I did. I just hit such rock bottom. I was so lost and confused and floundering. Like I'd never been in such a negative spot my entire life that looking back now, you guys, you're just like, oh my gosh, like I didn't even recognize myself. I was truly in the worst place that I think I'd ever been in my entire 39 years of my life, right? I'm 40 years old now, but 39 years old in 2024 and completely at rock bottom. So the reason I share this with you, the reason I'm even going down this path with you for 2025 to know that your life can change so drastically in such a short amount of time if you live your life intentionally, okay? So this last year for me has truly been the year of transformation, right? And so I don't even know what came up or how this even came about, but you guys know what's really crazy? The year 2025, and this is what's going to be really exciting for you guys out there listening. 2025, 2 plus 0 plus 2 plus 5. 2 plus 0 is 2, plus 2 is 4, plus 5 is 9. The number 9 in the numeric world means transformation. It means restart, refresh, complete, right? It is like the beginning of the end, I guess is what you could say. So 2025 is truly like in the numeric terms supposed to be such a transformation and like complete year for people to have so much growth and so much progress and so much change and just like to be the beginning of a new era. And I think that is so exciting because we deserve the beginning of a new era. And even if your life is fantastic, I mean, I'm so happy if you're out there listening and your life is fabulous because we deserve to live a fabulous life. Unfortunately, there's a lot of seasons that some of us have to go through in order to enjoy and get ourselves to the fabulous life, right? We find ourselves, I believe, a lot of times just living the same life over and over and over again. I know that for me, for sure, is every single, 365 days on repeat, just doing the same thing over and over and over again. And I never fully was content with that. I always wanted more. But when you're living the same life and you're just kind of stuck and you don't really know how to make the transformation, is you just wake up every single year and you realize that nothing is changing. And that, my friends, is such a frustrating place to live. If you're like me and you have just this burning desire deep down and you just feel like there's something great within inside of you that God has given you that wants more out of this life, wants more connection, wants more peace, wants more just fulfillment in life, right? I mean, just pure fulfillment, I think is the best word, is when you are just fully content and fulfilled from every area of your life where you just feel so overly blessed and you're able to then go out and bless others. I think that there's so much that we miss in this world because we're constantly just stuck in survival. We're not stuck in living a fulfilled, complete, happy life that God has intended for us because we don't know how to get it, right? I think that that is really what I've been up to. I'm going to say that's what I've been doing for the last 7-8 months, is just truly learning, what do I need to do to get my life to the life that I know God created for me? And it's not easy. I'm going to be completely honest with that. Figuring out the process wasn't easy, but the steps that it takes truly are not that hard either, right? So it's really just doing the work, doing the healing, sitting in the pain, actually slowing down and paying attention to what is happening in our world. If you slow down, my friends, I mean, I'm talking like slow down, just hit the brakes for whatever season you're on in your life. Going into 2025, hit the brakes and truly figure out what you want your goals to be. You know what's kind of crazy is I have another podcast that I do with a friend of mine, JD, and it's called Both Sides. And we were talking that less than 8% of people, you guys, are successful on a New Year's resolution. Less than 8%. To me, like, that's absolutely insane. Why is only less than 8% of people having success? And we were kind of digging into that and talking about it. And we kind of came up to the conclusion that we believe is because people have no idea what they want, right? I know that we all, like, in like a very generic form, we all know that we want to, maybe get into better shape. I feel like a New Year's resolution, everyone is like, I want to lose weight. I feel like that is like the number one. If you had to probably ask everybody, that is like the number one New Year's resolution that everybody has is, okay, I'm going to get in shape this year. I want to lose some weight. I want to get healthier. I think maybe the second one would be like, oh, I want to make more money. I want to, have a new career or things like that. I think we all have a lot of wants, right? We want a lot of things, but so many of us, 92% statistically, don't ever change. Don't ever lose the weight. Don't ever make more money. Don't ever make the career. Don't ever do the things that they've been wanting to do. To me, I feel like that's such a familiar life because I can completely relate. Because I feel like for most of my life, I have always wanted more and I've never known how to get it. And I feel like never was I willing to do what it took to get it because in the fear of losing things that I thought were important to me. And so I stayed stuck because I feel like I genuinely kind of went against myself in fear of losing things that I thought would hurt me. And ultimately, what I had learned in 2024 is that in order to change, in order to grow, in order to take your life to the next level, you're going to lose a lot of things. And that is the truth. However, from experience, I want to tell you this, it really doesn't end up being a loss. It might be painful during the transition when you are transitioning from one to another, when you are actually, I always call it like the blooming process, right? You are truly transforming and you are shedding off the old to develop into the new. That shedding process is not comfortable because change truly requires resistance and it requires becoming uncomfortable. But it's so worth it, right? Once you get to the other side, and I look back now, and I was so resistant, and I was so hurt, and I was so just confused on like really the transition process. But once you fully transition and you look back, I literally cannot tell you, my friends, how I am so grateful that God literally, I feel like, picked me up and moved me into a completely different life, moved me to where He's always wanted me to be. He saved me from myself. He saved me because He knew that I was going down the same path that He knew I had been on for 20 years that I didn't want to be on. But because we get stuck to the familiar, because we get stuck in safety, because we just get stuck with our fears and our self-doubts, it's really easy to repeat the same life over and over and over again. And for 2025, I mean, how exciting is it that it truly is a year of a numerical order, that it is the year of transformation and completion, right? Let's transform this year and seal it closed and never look back at our old selves. I always love New Year's resolutions. I do. I think that they're fun. I think it's like a fresh start. However, I think that New Year's resolutions are a great thing, but I think it needs to happen more than just on the new year, right? I think that we also need to be intentional, throughout the entire year of our goals, of our, journey of what it is that we want. Because as I've learned, and I'm sure as you guys will learn and going through these things in your lives, as I'm sure you have learned, that sometimes our plans are not in alignment with God's plans, right? We make all of these plans. We have all of this stuff written out in our vision boards and all the things that we want ourselves to accomplish. And God is like, well, nope, that's not what I have in store for you. So if you're not constantly pivoting and you're not constantly being conscious and aware and speaking to God and really fully walking his path, you might find yourself on a transition that just literally felt like it came out of nowhere. I think if you're working on intentionally living your life, setting goals with a vision in mind that you have goals, like you want things to accomplish, and you reach out to God every day and you're like, hey, Lord, get me there. Whatever the path is, like I trust you, take me there. I feel like when you have that faith in God and just that knowing that he's going to support you and help you and get you to the life that you've always dreamed of, and a life, I'm telling you, my friends, that his plan is so much greater than our plans. We might have dreams and visions of what we want, which is awesome, which most people we've learned don't. So if you are that person that's a dreamer and you have a vision and you have goals and you have plans, that's amazing. I love that for you. And I think that so many more people need to have it. I think that the next step to that is taking action and trusting God to take the reins, right? Trusting God to lead the way, trusting God that he has a divine plan for your life and that it's all going to work out exactly how it's supposed to. When you give over that control, I want to say, or that fear and that worry of just, that I'm not enough, or those limiting beliefs that, my gosh, it's so hard, it's so much work. What if I'm not capable? What if I can't? What if I fail? What if? When you step back and you actually just give it over to God and you're like, Lord, I know I'm your daughter. And we know that you want us to succeed. You want us to have amazing lives. You want us to be successful. You want us to you want all of those things for us, right? What mother or father wouldn't want that for their children? Okay. So know that our God loves us more than we've ever been able to love anybody in this entire world. So why would our God, who loves us so much, not want us to get every single thing that we want in this world and bring him glory and bring light to him? And I think that is the human journey, right? We sometimes get lost, often, for me, I know, and you kind of get off the right path because Satan is good, man. He is good at scaring us. He's good at confusing us. He's good at all the self-doubt and limiting beliefs, telling us all the reasons that we're not capable, that we're not worthy, that we're not deserving, that it's not possible, that that's not ever going to happen. We're so good at convincing ourselves of all the negative. But the truth is that is such a lie. That is such a lie. Satan is a liar. He is here to kill, steal, and destroy. And I'm telling you, he will take you down. And this world, it's so easy to fall into it because we just live in his world. So tapping into God every single day, truly having goals and just making a plan of action. So like I was telling you, JD and I were talking about it. We think that the reason that so many people don't have success is because, number one, like I just said, people don't know what they want. But number two, even if they do, they don't have a plan of action, right? There's so many things in this world that we don't know how to do ourselves. We're just not skilled. We don't have the knowledge. We've never done it before, right? So when you don't know what you're doing, sometimes it makes it a lot harder. In today's world, can we figure it out? Yes, of course, right? Especially with online. My gosh, you can learn anything today. There is literally a lesson to be learned in any category of the world. You could literally look it up, research it, and teach yourself anything. However, there's also so many people, so many resources of people that have accomplished what you want, literally by finding a mentor or finding somebody or hiring somebody or befriending somebody or getting yourself in the right rooms with people that have what you want. They will be able to get you there. They can give you the roadmap that they took and you can follow it and say, hey, look, how did you get into shape? How did you have the successful business? How did you become an amazing father to your children? How did you become an amazing mother to your family? How did you do it? Talk to people that have what you have and they can get you to where they are. If you're with people all the time that don't have what you have and they're not going the places that you're going, if you surround yourself with those people, they're going to get you there. They're going to take you to where they're going. That is why it is so important of who you surround yourself with on a daily basis. So for New Year's resolutions, which again, I'm a big fan of having a plan of action. I'm a big fan of always self-growth and becoming the best version of ourselves. I genuinely am. I've been like that for very, 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 very many years. The difference for me this last year, I want to say, is the transformation of true surrendering. I feel like for 2024, if I had to choose the award of the year, it would have been surrender. I fully surrendered my life. I stopped driving the vehicle and I literally handed it over to God. And I said, Lord, I literally just drove myself off a cliff and I don't know how to get back. I don't know how to get where you want me to go. I know where I wanted to be for so many years, you guys. I just couldn't get myself there. I didn't know how to do it. And so for me, surrendering my life to God in 2024 is the biggest difference that I did in order to transform my life. It was truly giving up the control, which is hard for somebody like me because I do like to control things because I'm always trying to be safe and feel secure. That's just, again, childhood trauma, things that I've experienced throughout my life. But truly just living and trusting and knowing that God is in control, that God is going to provide, that God has a plan, and knowing that I'm a big dreamer. I have really, really big dreams, you guys. I mean, I have just a really big vision of where I want to be in my life and the things that I want to accomplish and the things that I want to do and the people that I want to surround myself with. And it's not all just monetary, right? I mean, of course, I want to be successful financially, and that is my goal, right? My word of the year for 2025 is prosperity. Prosperity is just going to be my word this year because that is my focus. My focus is on building these businesses and making them extremely successful. However, there's more to success to me than just monetary gains, right? Obviously, yes, life is a lot easier when you have money. Life's a lot better when you're not having to live on a tight budget. However, it's also peace. It's also feeling fully content, feeling just at ease, feeling complete, feeling joyful, feeling at peace. Just there's something when you fully surrender your life to God that He brings this balance to us that we feel like we live in an unbalanced world a lot. I feel like a lot of my life I've been unbalanced, and I've had a good life, and I'm not going to discredit that at all. I mean, I've had a very fun life. I had an amazing friend group. I had an amazing life. And so I'm not going to discredit that there weren't seasons in my life that there were really good times, but I'm going to tell you that I've never been fully in balance. And the truth is because I never fully surrendered my life to God fully. I've always known God. I've always had Him in my heart. I've always done it my way because I didn't know how else to do it. And what I'm so grateful for in 2024 is that I think that God has to use severe, just almost like shocking sometimes, for me at least, to get my attention. Like He had to shock me. And He did. He shocked me where I was so surprised what the outcome was and how it happened because I was so blinded. I was literally living in a life that I was blind to, that I felt like I was so shocked that it just awakened me in a way that I'd never been awakened before. It hurt me in a way that I'd never been hurt before. It challenged me in a way that I'd never been challenged before. I mean, I feel like even losing my husband, that was such a heartbreaking thing because he was so sick and because he had lost so many of his abilities and because he just, I knew, didn't want to live that way. When Jimmy went home to be with him, I was honestly like relieved because I just knew that he was fully restored in heaven. And I knew that God had taken him home, and I believed that with all my heart. So it always brought me this peace and this comfort. When I first found out he was sick, I was terrified. So I would say it was very similar to that, to like that rock bottom, just being ultimately terrified and just so scared. But I have to say this in 2024, it was more of pain for me. It was more of fear. It was more of just truly kind of hitting the lowest point of my entire life. And I don't know why we have to hit the lowest point of our entire life in order for God to truly work in our lives. Again, I lived a good life. Like I said, like my life was fine. My life, nothing was wrong with it. but I just was lacking something. I was always slightly missing something. I was always slightly trying to just fill a void, right? If it was with partying or drinking or with just, staying busy all the time or just, I was just trying to always feel this void. I can't even describe it with just outside things, right? Just outside sources, outside just whatever, trying to make myself feel better. And it's so crazy that I lost a lot, right? I had nowhere really, my home. So I'd lost my home. I'd lost, kind of like a career. I'd lost, my husband. I had lost just a lot of stuff in my life. The day that I surrendered my life to God, as much as I had lost, and it was painful, was the day that I remember for the first time actually feeling complete and whole. And it's such a very strange thing to even say and talk about, but it's so true, because the outside things of this world do not bring us that fulfillment, that contentment, that joy. It doesn't. It's self. It's internal. Being a 10 within is a real thing. It's feeling completely content inside. And then your exterior things are not really impacting your life. And again, yes, of course, we all want to be successful and have more money. And you want to, have fun trips, and you want to have, be able to do things, which, yes, takes monetary time. On the flip side of that, we all want our health. We all want to be in shape. We all want to look good in a bathing suit. We all want to look good in clothes. We want those physical things. We want relationships. We want people in our lives. We want friendships. We want those things in our lives. But when things happen and people let you down, or, your health is, maybe you're struggling, maybe something's going on, your health is just off, or you have a high stress in your life, or something financial happens in your life, when you have God and that full knowing and trust in Him, I feel like it doesn't make your life fall apart, right? Now, does it bring stress? Yes, of course. You're still going to have stress in the world that we live in of real life, but being completely at ease and at balance of bringing God into your life is just simply meaning that you are content no matter what happens, no matter what the outside circumstances are, because you genuinely fully believe that no matter what happens, it's going to be for your highest good. And I believe that. And I think 2024 taught me that, because I didn't know how to see what was my highest for the highest good. I literally at first was like, oh my gosh, God, are you kidding me? Like, what is happening? How is this happening? Fast forward, my gosh, to today, you guys, January 2nd, 2025. It is so clear that God's plan was so much greater than my plans. It was so clear that He was like, absolutely no, Lonnie. Like, I am going to come in and I'm going to put my hand in this and say, no, I love you. You're my daughter. And that's not happening. And even though it showed up as pain for me, and even though it showed up as transformation and confusion and betrayal and all of these feelings that I felt, once you overcome and you heal yourself and you get to the other side, you look back at it, and I literally promise you guys, like, I have so much gratitude in my heart. I have so much appreciation. I have so much joy that the hardest season of my life brought me to the most amazing season of my life. I would never change that transition life of 2024 for anything. I truly wouldn't. And that, if you would have asked me 6 months ago, would have been probably the last thing that would have come out of my mouth. I was so heartbroken. I literally didn't think I was ever going to feel the same again. I'd never gone through such heartbreak like that. But fast forwarding and looking and seeing truth and looking and seeing it for what it really was, and just how I was so blind to something, I am so grateful that God removed the blinders off of me and opened my eyes to see truth, to see health, to see healing, to see His plan, to see that He loves me so much that He did not let me go down that destructive path. So if you're in this year and it's 2025, let's make sure you set some goals. Let's make sure that you have a game plan on how to get them, because a goal without a plan is just a wish. You have to, know what you're aiming for, and then you have to make a plan of action on how to get it. So for me, I'll tell you what's going on in my life for those that care. So I have a few different things going on. So I have Rodeo Babe, which is an apparel line. And I have a big vision for this apparel line, but we're actually launching our first drop February of 2025. And that's going to be our spring line. And they are rodeo shirts, right? And what I'm doing with this line is I'm making it really unique and fun and custom to the girls that I'm potentially selling it to. Now, Rodeo Babe, obviously for me, is going to be a business that I want to, basically have my clientele be rodeo women from, young all the way up to older women. So, I just want to be able to create well-quality rodeo shirts and apparel for that world, right? It's a missing niche in our industry of rodeo, and I'm really excited to fulfill it. So we have some really big plans, and this whole new design world for me, and the basically, creating of a product and creating a brand is all new. So I've learned so much, and that's why. So our first launch, we have 10 pieces that we're launching. And then obviously we're going to roll out another launch, probably the next 30 days after, and just kind of continue to grow it and fill out like our target audience. And so that's been really fun. That's been a huge learning and time consuming business, but the design process has been so fun. And, just working together with my daughter has been so fun. And we've learned a lot in a short amount of time. And I cannot wait to see where this business takes us, So I love Kristen Cavallari. She's just such an entrepreneur. I look up to her. Jessica Simpson, she's also another huge entrepreneur that I look up to. And I just am kind of following suit on their businesses and like how they branded themselves. And so, running this industry and have a huge, huge vision to where I want to take it. So that's what's going on with Rodeo Babe. I have 10 within this podcast that we're on. For me, this podcast has honestly just been such an amazing outlet, right? I have truly been able to just share my journey. And honestly, you guys, what I love the most is I can't tell you how many women have reached out to me and just told me that my podcast has helped them so much and that they're so appreciative of the real raw stories that I share and the vulnerability that I share. And that has made doing this so, so worth it. That was always my heart behind this podcast, was truly, I feel like God has always spoken to me to, Lonnie, be this leader in the woman world and teach women to be strong, teach women to, love themselves, teach women self-respect and dignity. And that is what this 10 Within podcast represents, true ultimate healing from the inside out. So that is what 10 Within is going to continue to be for 2025, truly work with a lot of women that have overcome a lot of things and healed a lot of elements in their lives. Also, even to entrepreneurship, I'm really learning business, and I'm really excited to bring in some women entrepreneurs that have been very successful in creating a brand and creating, a business. And so I'm going to use this platform to also educate. I always want to create value. That is the plan, is truly give you guys some sort of tools and skills of what I've learned from my mentors, from my life, from my experience, and be able to pass it down to be able to help somebody else up. That is what the whole point of this podcast for me is just to create value and to really have this platform to be able to just speak my truth and share my voice. And I really feel like God has laid that on my heart for a very long time now. And again, 2024 was just the year that I finally decided to just take action, right? Just do the things that I've been wanting to do for a very long time that I just always made an excuse of why I felt like I couldn't, or I didn't know how, or I didn't have the time, or I didn't know what to talk about. I had more excuses than I could write a novel with all the excuses that I had. But surrendering and taking action will change your life. Okay, so the third thing I have going on is my other podcast, Both Sides Podcast, and that I have a co-host with my friend JD Denham, and we talk about man's perspective, woman's perspective from a godly perspective, and that is just addressing a lot of the issues that we have in the world, in just the world of men and women. And JV and I have very much the same heart. We have the same heart posture when it comes to just really wanting to serve and help other people. I think for me, the year of 2024 was the year that I had to learn. I had to grow. I had to become the person that God wanted me to be in order to turn around and help other people do the same. And so that is what my focus has been for 2024, was truly putting my head down and only focusing on me. Everyone asks, I go, why aren't you dating? Why aren't you, out there, hanging out? Why aren't you, doing all of these things? But the truth is my life consists of working out, working on my business, working on healing, and truly my children. Like, that is my life in a nutshell, and it is perfect. I wouldn't change anything for anything. Now we have some fun trips going up, and obviously I have some friends that I hang with every once in a while, but the truth is I'm so excited to create what I'm creating. Is like, you can almost not pull me away from working. Like if I'm not with my kids, I'm working. If I'm not taking my daughter to rodeo, I'm at home working. If I'm not, out to dinner with family or friends, I'm working. Like, it is just my passion. And so, Both Sides podcast, that podcast for me is just another true opportunity that God brought into my life that I was not expecting at all. 10 Within started, and literally 2 weeks later, JD reached out to me and he's like, hey, I was doing a prayer and, God laid on my heart. I really want to start this podcast. I have this huge vision of us helping people truly kind of become their best selves. And I just envision you being my partner. He said, can we talk more? And so we met up. We had, got together and we went and had just a first meeting, and him and I just had such a great chemistry when it comes to business and friendship and, just values. We are just very similar when it comes to that. And the Both Side podcast, you guys, formed into this huge thing that have like exploded overnight. And I mean, it is growing so rapid and so fast. And I mean, it is just, you just know when it's a God thing, that it's been such an amazing journey. And so, we have some pretty big guests coming onto our podcast this year. We have some big things happening. And so, just really getting geared up and in line to kind of just take that podcast to the next level. And same thing with 10 Within. 10 Within is obviously not growing quite as fast as the comeback, but that 10 Within is not growing quite as fast as Both Sides podcast. But the momentum that I've had on this podcast, you guys, still is outdoing so many podcasts. And I have to give you guys all that thanks, because I truly believe I have such a huge support system of just you people out there that I think can honestly relate with me in my life, because I know that I'm not alone and that life can be a struggle. And just, truly trying to find the positivity and find the, silver lining in the tough times. And I just want to thank you guys so much for the love and the support that you've given me on this show, because the 10 Within podcast as well is just being extremely successful. And I have just so much gratitude in my heart, because it's just this is like my baby, right? This is something that is mine that I've wanted for so many years to do. And I just know that God has his hand over it. And the whole point of this podcast to me is truly to bless people, right? Is to help give back the knowledge and the time and the skills of things that I've spent so much time and money in, and just healing and learning and growing. And I've invested a lot of time and a lot of money into me over the last, truly 15 years, I would say, of just really learning to become the best version of myself. And what that looks like is real life, guys, right? You have highs and you have lows. I had seasons that I was killing it. I had seasons that I was down. And that is the journey. And that is what I'm real about, is like, if you're a human being, I don't care how much work you put in, you're never going to always just ride the high, right? You're just not. That's just not real life. Life happens. And when you hit in those valleys, man, it is the grit that it takes to pull yourself out and to become better than you were before. Every time we hit a valley, it is to transform us in some way. It is to teach us a lesson that we have to learn. So many times we hit these same valleys and we never learn the lesson. And we're just stuck on this same life roller coaster because we're not learning the lesson that we're supposed to take in the valley. If you slow down, you pay attention to the lessons, your life will transform and you'll go to the next level. But if you stay on the same roller coaster and you just keep hitting those highs and lows and do the same things over and over again, you're going to wake up and you're going to find out that you've just ridden the same life. You've just ridden the same roller coaster for 75 years of your life, and that's what you called your life. So everybody has a choice. Everybody has a choice how we respond to the things that happen to us in our lives. And that is what truly my heart is in wanting to be able to give back. And so that is what else I have going on. And I'm so excited about, you guys, is it's called the comeback, right? So the fifth thing that I have going on in my life is just a personal goal for me, and that is to do a fitness competition. I'm going to do a bikini competition. I wanted to do it last year, and I just had so much going on, and I just really wasn't in a healthy enough state, I believe, to be able to get myself there. I was still in such a healing journey. So I wanted to make sure that I was in the most healthy place in my life. And I genuinely can say that that's where I feel right now, that I'm just ready. I'm ready to do this fitness out competition. I'm ready to truly take my fitness journey to the next level. This last year, I've gotten in the best shape of my life. As of right now, I'm 40 years old, and I truly sit here in the best shape of my entire life that I've ever gotten myself to. But I'm talking like whole nother level status. I don't know if anybody out here listening has done a bikini competition show, but the amount of discipline and the amount of self-control that you have to have in order to be successful in that is what I'm excited about. I love truly challenging myself and pushing myself to hard limits. And I think that this is probably going to be the hardest challenge that I've ever done, and to push myself to the hardest limits, because it is not easy to transform your body to what it has to be stage ready, to be truly that fit, that lean in order to compete in a show. So that is another goal that I have of mine, and that journey starts now. I just started my training program literally today. So we shall see. He says about 4 to 6 months transformation process to actually get stage ready to where I'm going to compete to do well. And that is the goal. So I have Rodeo Babe, 10 Within podcast. I have the Both Sides podcast, and I have my bikini competition. And last but not least, my goal for 2025, you guys, and this is something that I've been working on for the last couple of months, probably about 2 months now. It's a course called The Comeback. And this is something I feel like God honestly laid on my heart. Gosh, I'm going to say 6 months ago, right? He just kept laying on my heart that you're going through this season, Lonnie, to be able to help others. I'm showing you this journey so you can help others. I just felt like he kept saying that to me. He kept saying, trust me, there is something that's going to come out of this that is going to help a ton of people. And I didn't know what that really was at the time, but fast forward, after I went through this journey of truly just heartbreak and just floundering and lost and just being in the darkest season of my entire life, you guys, I needed a comeback, right? I needed a personal comeback. I just felt so defeated, and I felt so just humiliated and just rock bottom, right? Like I was truly like, oh my gosh, like I'm 40 years old and this is my life, right? I'm like, what the heck happened? Like, how did I get here? And when I asked myself that question, I am very strong-willed, and I'm telling you, I would never just accept defeat, ever. I'm just not a person that gets defeated easily. And I knew in my soul that I am going to make a comeback, and I'm going to make the best comeback of my entire life, and not for anybody else in this world, but for me. I deserved that for me. I know that I've gone through so much hard times in my life, and that it was my time to shine and my time to take my life back. I was under attack, and I was allowing Satan to truly take me out because I was truly running off of fear and self-doubt and limiting beliefs and just pure chaos, right? I was just living in fear and chaos, that as soon as I surrendered my life was the day that I decided I would never allow myself to get there again. I would never allow myself to truly be in such a fearful state, to not trust God enough to know that He was going to take care of me and take care of my kids, and that we were going to be okay. I didn't know that in my heart. I was looking to a human being. I was looking to other people to save me because I did not trust that God was going to save me, because God didn't save my husband, right? So I was so fearful that I was not going to be able to do it alone that I didn't know how to surrender. Well, let me tell you, He made me surrender. And like I said again, I am so grateful. I am so grateful that He picked me up and He moved me out of that situation. So I had no other option but to surrender my life so I could then create the comeback. And the comeback for me is the course that I created to now help other people going through the same thing. If you find yourself just completely defeated and you look in the mirror and you're like, how on earth did I get myself here? I feel overweight. I have an unhealthy relationship. I just got out of a toxic relationship. I just had my heart broken. I became a widow. I just feel like I have no direction whatsoever at all. I want to ultimately change my career. I want to get myself to the next level. I want to become the version of me that God created me to be. And I don't know how. I'm stuck. I'm stuck in this life on repeat, and I don't know how to get out of it. And I'm telling you, that was me for 20 years of my life, living my life on repeat, going through the same highs, the same lows, the same highs, the same lows, same peaks, same valleys, and never learning from them, never changing from them. Just keep riding it over and over and over and expecting a different result that was never gonna come, because God says you have to surrender. Get off the roller coaster. Get onto my path and let me show you how to get you where you want to go. But number one takes surrendering. And so when I created this course, the Comeback, it's a 12-step course that will help you transform your life to becoming the lowest version of yourself, to getting yourself to become the person that God wants you to be. It's a 30-day transformation of 12 daily steps that you take to change your life. And I'm telling you guys, it works, because this is exactly what I did. And I didn't even create this course on purpose. I was seeking and I was praying and I was learning and educating and finding all of the tools that I needed in order to get myself out of this heartbroken, defeated, humiliated state that I was in. I took one step at a time, and I ultimately transformed my entire life. I have truly come from losing everything to seriously regaining everything plus some, plus so much more. Taking a few daily action steps that are not hard steps, you guys, and that's what I love about the Comeback, is that anybody can do it. Anybody can take these steps. It just takes living life intentionally. It takes showing up for you. It takes change. And change is not always easy, right? Because it's resistance. It's different. We live our life in patterns, living our lives doing the same things over and over and over again. Every single day when we wake up, we live our lives 80% on autopilot. We are literally running on patterns and systems. Our job is to break the pattern and system, program a new one, so you can get yourself to another frequency. If you're like me and you believe in the law of attraction and you believe that we live life on frequencies, the frequency that you're on right now, if you were like I was, and you are just heartbroken, you are fearful, you are not trusting what the heck God has in store for you, you can't even see the light at the end of the tunnel. You genuinely have no idea where to go from here. You're just frozen in fear. You're just paralyzed in fear. This course was designed for you. It was designed to help people see the light, to see the 12 steps that it takes to get yourself out of that broken state that Satan wants you in. He wants you stuck there as long as possible. But this course was designed to get you from that state to living the life that God created for you, because you deserve it, my friend. We all go through hard things. I don't care if you feel like you were the worst person on the planet and maybe you feel like you deserve to be in this state. The truth is that is a lie. That is Satan fooling you. You do not deserve to live there. We all mess up. We all make mistakes. We all have done things that we feel ashamed of. That is 100% called the human experience. None of us are perfect. None of us ever are doing it right all the time. We have all altered and gotten off the path that God created for us. But the cool part is literally in just a very short amount of time, by surrendering and taking a few steps, you can get your life back. You can transform your entire life to the life that you have always dreamed of. 6 months later, you guys, I truly looked back and I was like, oh my gosh, I've created a pinch me life. I've created the life that I have dreamed about for 20 years. 20 years of stuck on the roller coaster, having no idea how to get out, how to alter it, how to change it. Oh, life is good. Oh my gosh. Life is good. Oh my gosh. Always having something out of balance, always feeling like I was slightly missing something, to God centered on my life, just genuinely feel fully content in every single area of my life and growing. Have I hit the top yet? Heck no. But have I gone from here to here? Yeah. And I can help you. If you are here, I can get you here because I've done it. Now, the next step for me is to go here, right? It is a continuation of growth. I am still growing. You are still growing. Just because I'm maybe a few steps ahead of you doesn't mean that you're not capable of doing it. You are 100% capable of getting where I'm at, because I'm going to show you, I'm going to throw you the line to tell you exactly the steps to take to get there. When I get to the next step, I'm going to show you the line to the next step to get there. And I do the same thing with my mentor, right? I ask them, show me, what have you done to get what you're at? Because that's what I want. And turn around and help them do the same. I believe that is the purpose of life. I believe that is how God created this world to be, is we go through hard things to learn from them, to grow from them, to take the lessons from them, to transform, and then to turn around and to help other people do the same. So my comeback course is designed to give other people the tools to overcome that hard season. I have been a widow. I had been heartbroken. I have lost careers. I've turned around and literally felt like I had nothing. I felt like I had lost it all and I didn't know where to start. And taking these daily steps transformed my health. It transformed my mental state. It healed my heart. It put me in a position, you guys, that I genuinely feel so happy and so content and so at ease with me. So happy, so content, so at ease with my life. So happy, so content, so at ease with just the place that I'm in today. Everyone always asks, oh, what's your goals for the new year? And I have huge goals. But one of my goals is now to just enjoy the bloom. Enjoy the fact, enjoy the journey, enjoy the blossom of who I've blossomed into, because I am so proud of me. And I know that you can do this, and you will look at yourself in the mirror and you'll be like, wow, I am so proud of me. You can say that to yourself because it is not hard to do. It takes doing 12 simple steps over a 30-day window. It takes 21 days to create a new habit. When you create new habits, you then change the patterns of your life and you start living a different life. We have this course for 30 days, 12 daily steps that you take that I'm telling you are easy steps that will transform your life. And in 30 days, you will look back, and I promise you, if you follow these steps, you will not recognize yourself. Because let me tell you, the Lonnie sitting right here, right now, is extremely different than the Lonnie you would have met 6 months ago. And I am so proud of who I've become and what I've done and how I've gotten myself to this place. And I want that for you. If you need help and you are just in this situation where you just don't know how to get to the next step, reach out to me. I will 100% show you this course. I'm keeping it as affordable as possible so I can have everybody afford to take this course to be able to transform their life. This course is designed simply with the steps that I took to transform my life, that God had shown me, that my counselors have taught me, that my healing has shown me, that work. It is not rocket science. It is not hard. You can do it. You just need the tools in order to be successful. So 2025, you guys, is going to be our year. It is going to be the year of transformation because it is a 9 numeric year. And I'm so excited for that because I think that is such a rad year to truly be the year that this course rolls out, because that is what the comeback is. That is what the comeback is. It is truly transforming and completing the cycle of the old you and developing into the new you. Who you are right now is enough, but there is a better version waiting to happen. And we're going to show you how to tap into her or him by taking these 12 steps every single day to becoming the best version of you. The comeback is for you. It is for nobody else. But let me tell you, there is no better revenge out there than truly picking yourself up, dusting yourself off, and becoming the best version of you and never looking back to those people that hurt you. You can do hard things. You can get yourself out of this state. I'm telling you, because I did it. And I want to show you how. If the comeback course is something that you are interested in, I will put the course information in the show notes. Click on it. It will take you straight to my sales page. And you, my friend, will never be the same you. Don't go another year wishing, hoping that something's going to change. Make the change. Take the steps. Do the work. And I promise you, you're never, ever, 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 ever going to regret it. You are going to look back and you are going to be so grateful that you did. So that is all I have for you today. 2025, you guys, is going to be the best year yet. I just feel it. I am so excited for this year. And I really hope that you are so excited for this year too. And if I can help you in any way that I can, I am here. Lean into me and I will help you get yourself out of that rock bottom spot to the next phase of your life. And let's take it from there, guys. Let's rock and roll this year. Cheers to you. Cheers to me. And cheers to transformation. Happy 2025.